Hey, and welcome to Back of the Burb, episode 8. You know, we've done it, guys. We're like, it's like 75% of podcasts don't even make it past episode 7. So we've done it.
Woo!
Our podcast canceled. We're done.
Yeah. Wait a minute, though. I've only been in 7 episodes.
It don't matter. The podcast as a whole is past it.
So you still have time to be killed before episode 8.
And of course, I'm the one right before we recorded, like, but wait, what if next weekend's the one where none of us can show up?
Well, you know what? We got to record some extra episodes so we have backups because we ran through our one backup already and we haven't re-recorded another one yet.
Whoops.
Because we can do like specifically themed episodes for that, guys. You guys know that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. So good job. We've done that. You know, we've got good old Lord Beardsley to my right, and then we have Alex to my left.
Who looks like I think he's got a fresh trim on that beard.
I did. I trimmed it back a little bit because I was tired of it getting in my mouth while I was sleeping. I ain't even joking.
You know what, though? Everybody out there that has that amount of beard knows exactly what he's talking about. I actually just trimmed mine this morning, too.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long, but, you know.
So if it was like, what was it, like the bottom coming up and getting in your mouth?
Yeah.
So are you like a vampire? Do you like hang upside down when you sleep? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
So
sure.
the beard just kind of...
No, like I sleep with the air conditioner on like full tilt and like pull the blanket up over my face, and when I do, like it grabs my beard and kind of like pulls it up like a scarf kind of, and it's not a good scarf.
I do the exact same thing, like air conditioner full blast.
Yeah.
It covers up.
Oh yeah. You have like a little circle of breathing right around your face.
Yeah, you just need to be able to breathe. Nothing else.
But you're so comfy. You're just like you're in a cocoon of comfort.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just like I can't sleep when it's hot. It's got to be frigid, like to the point that I have to hide under a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I've been keeping it down here at like 69 degrees, and like mom and dad are like, you should turn that up. It's really cold down there, and I'm like, no, I pay the electric bill for the whole house. Y'all can keep it at 75 upstairs. I'm gonna keep it at 69.
Yeah,
nice.
But actually, last week. On our Saturday in the evening, he's like, "Oh, you have to turn that thing up," and he was just like, "You have to do it." And I was like, "Oh, damn!"
Like I pay the electric bill, not you.
Yeah, at that point, it's like, "Get out of here!"
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyways,
So then Alex is to my left, and then to my left is Matt.
Left.
Yep.
To the left.
two lefts.
Two
So
lefts.
like when you're in a game and there's like the boost and it's 1 arrow, but then you get the mega boost and it's 2 arrows.
Yeah.
So you need to go 2 sections over to Matt.
Yeah. So he's got 2 charges of Slipstream Turbo going right now.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, Slipstream.
Slipstream turbo.
Yeah, good old fucking
You know what?
Midnight Club.
I've never seen him run though.
Oh, I have.
I don't think I've seen you run.
I definitely have.
Fuck.
Tony has a story for this, actually.
You are just trying to egg him on. You have seen.
I don't know.
You
like
have had to
full
have seen me
blast
run. Like,
I'm not sure.
I know you're lying right now.
Oh, wait a minute. The fireworks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. There was a lot of chaos,
the
though,
fireworks.
so it's hard to see everybody what they were doing during
Yeah. So long story short on that one, this was years ago for 4th of July. We were doing fireworks at Mike Richter's place. And it was very bad. Like a mortar, like a 4-shot mortar fell over.
A 4-shot?
Oh, yeah.
No, it was like an 80-shot, like...
Dude, all I remember is there was fucking explosions everywhere, and it was chaos, and people were screaming and running, and just like... I remember there was the little single-shot one that fell over in the bucket.
Yep, that was the first one.
That was the first one.
That was the first
shot
one.
after it fell over. It hit the side of the bucket, and went about 5 feet in the air, spinning, and just fucking exploded.
And then someone took the Saturn missiles and threw them onto the fire.
After they dud it out halfway.
Richter's dad.
It wasn't like the small, like brick size. It was like, the full on, like
there was like
10 bricks of like Saturn missiles put together.
Yeah, I swear it was
just
like
thrown on a bonfire, tilted almost towards us, and it was like, hang on, boys.
Meanwhile, he sits there like, well, it's not pointing towards me.
Oh my God.
The worst part about that is like no one was really paying attention, and that thing dudded out halfway.
Yeah.
So there were still like 80 shots in that thing, and that Saturn
And it was
missile,
sudden.
and he just fucking threw it in the fireplace. No one was really paying attention. Be like, yo, don't do that. So then we're like, because no one was paying attention, because you fucking, that's just how it is. All of a sudden, it's like,
yeah, he's like screaming memes, basically. Just
oh, dude, everyone's scattering. I remember Paul was running across the yard
on
and
the jump split.
Yeah. No. As he was running, like 2 went through his leg, and then he jumped over one.
Yep.
Oh my god, dude! Like that's one of those ones where it was like, fuck, I can't believe I'm alive.
Yeah. You saw me run
that
I ran behind the AC. That's
Yep, I do remember that, and you stuck behind that.
And then Matt ate that pepper, and
we all ate peppers, and I almost died.
It was you, Richter, or not Richter, Joe Barr, Joe Barr, and was it Ian? Did Ian eat one?
I don't remember who had the last.
Ian was there, but I don't think he ate one.
I remember Joe was like choking and gagging over the kitchen sink.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Yeah,
and it was just like a habanero, right? But still, eating a whole habanero.
No, that wasn't a habanero. Like that.
Something a little.
It was habanero, but it was like this kid like really grew them very well. They were like,
I don't know,
really well, like fresh that this kid brought that he grew, and it was like, whoa. And like, I don't know how many of us ate them. Probably like 5 of us.
Yeah,
me and Joe Barr handled it the absolute worst. We were like,
I remember it was hot. Like it wasn't killer, but it was hot. But here I am eating fucking habanero. Like I chopped that shit up and put it in fucking everything.
I'll eat stuff that has habanero sauce in it or cooked in it. That's about. I don't really want more hot than that.
That's the sauce, though. Eat the pepper.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I've eaten a ring.
It's brutal.
I've eaten like a thin ring of one sliced up and made chili. It was me and my dad, and he goes, I don't really know what kind of peppers these are. He just grabs stuff. He goes, I'll probably be good in it. And he sliced them up, and he goes, if you eat one, I'll eat one. So we both ate one. We're trying to make this chili. We're laughing, red in the face, coughing like, my dad just looks at me like beet red, and he goes, that's pretty hot.
That's a good time is what that is.
It wasn't that bad, though. Like, it lingered for a little bit, but, it wasn't actual death, just like 5 minutes of death.
I'm a wuss when it comes to spicy food. I just don't do it.
I've become more of a wuss. I don't know what it is.
We should, we were talking about ideas for videos. We could almost do like one of those spicy ramen challenges because I got those like 2 times spicy ones.
Oh, no.
Over there. They're pretty good. They're pretty good, but they're hot.
Pretty good.
Like they're towards like that like upper limit for me where I'm just like, no, I don't want to eat this anymore.
Oh no.
For me, the 99 boneless wings are like hot. Not super hot, but like they're
you mean down at the 9s, right? Like the 99s, right?
Yep,
okay.
yeah.
No, I didn't know if you were referring to like a specific flavor of B-dubs.
No.
You know what? There's a certain...
No, B-dubs, I'm mild. I am a mild bitch.
I don't even like B-dubs that much. But
no, they've gone downhill too.
It's too expensive.
You know who has really good wings in the area? Fucking Grand Finales.
You mentioned that like a while ago. Yeah.
So,
not on the show, but
yeah, no, I didn't mention it on the show. Like the sauce needs a little bit of work. I'm not gonna lie, but for like the wings are so good, and you go get the wings and fries, and it's like, that's get ready to like munch out because you're just gonna munch out.
Nice.
Like you just. Oh my God! Just it's so good thinking about it.
Nice.
Yeah, back to the spicy thing, like you were saying, like that limit of how you want to experience it.
Yeah,
because there's like you can tolerate X spice, but that doesn't mean that's what you want to actually for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, like I feel like my survival limit on spicy stuff is really high, but I don't want to eat that.
Yeah, you don't want to eat it
because if you eat like a whole dish of that, it's gonna be bad.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what that ramen is. Like it's not like I could handle hotter, but that's like towards the upper limit of like I don't want to eat too much.
Yeah, right.
But like I can finish a package.
Gotcha.
Like, it's good stuff, but yeah.
All right.
I miss having that ramen shop next to my house in Vegas. Like I go over there, like you get hot or fire, like depending on like how bad my allergies were. You're just sitting there eating ramen, just sweat. Sweat.
God.
Oh, it's so good.
He suddenly goes from his face to pink to the shorts, just red.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear something horrible, like a
something
crazy pepper
horrible.
story? Yeah, something horrible.
Yeah.
So I went to this video. This guy, he had the hottest pepper on the road. I think it's called like the Trinidad or something. I don't know what it's.
Oh yeah, the scorpion.
It's one of those top, at least top 3, if not the hottest one in the world. Well, he takes this thing, he cuts it in half. He takes both halves, puts it in his eyes, spins it, takes them and eats it.
No.
And the scream that he lets off is like Ned Flanders. It's like the most high-pitched, like...
So
I hate that. I actually hate that just thinking about it.
I watched it in pure horror. I was like, oh my God.
he sounds like the type of dude to do a tough guy shot at tequila.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one where you put like your salt in the eyes or something?
Yeah.
Lime in the eyes?
So a tough guy shot at tequila. You fucking you snort the salt, squirt the lime in your eye, and down the tequila.
God, I hate this. I'm like such a baby when it comes to pain. I'm just imagining, like, whenever I see people like getting hit with pepper spray, I'm just like, it must suck. Like, I'm just imagining like you willingly doing that to yourself. It's just that I couldn't do it. Oh, I'm such a baby.
You know what? I saw a pepper spray video the other day, and it was one of the police training ones.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a recruit. He wasn't experienced, but like I almost feel like he doused himself for a while because they took it and they had like that orange jelly kind of real sticky stuff. Ooh. And you could tell they put a line right across like where his eyes closed. He opened them up, didn't turn red, and he did the course like he was any of us.
Yeah.
He just did the course. And they're like, they actually asked him if he could do it again.
Oh.
And they sprayed him again, and he did it just as fine. And his eyes weren't even red.
Oh, my God.
He's like, I just don't care.
That's
you know what? Mind over matter.
What a badass. Really, with that sort of thing, it is all like mental.
Like maybe
you
like internally he was suffering, but outside he's like, I'll not show my pain.
Yeah.
Which I guess is the point.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. You would do that to me, and I'd just be rolling on the floor, and be like, God,
it's like the ultimate Ron Swanson thing to do. Just take it.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. You know what? You just, all right. Just be a man.
It is always a good idea to show to your coworkers.
It is a weird, like, morbid fascination watching like those videos of those guys in training doing it because it's like, I mean, like I feel bad because again, I always feel like that, like, oh, that must feel horrible. But at the same time, I see like the Army recruit, and he's like, every decision in my life has led me to this moment right before he gets sprayed in the eyes. It's like, he's not wrong. It's just, it's weird. I don't know. I can't help but watch it.
Yep.
You may as well just do like the be a man thing. Like
I was about to say that.
When you get mugged, spray yourself in the eye with pepper spray, then beat his ass. Be a man.
Yeah. That's a good one. God. Still, to this day, I'm going to say it again. One of my favorite clips from him is smoke butts with your windows up in your car. Be a man. Just like nasty.
I like the one about going to the hospital. Or like, if you get stabbed, just pull it out and cover it and hold over it or whatever it was. Oh, like don't bleed out. Don't be a puss. Be a man.
No, you know what it was? If you get stabbed, don't die. Be a man.
Yeah.
Don't die.
It's just whatever.
Just power through it, man. Just power through
the money episode of their podcast. If some kid came up to me and asked for a Venmo, I'd kick him in the fucking balls. It's just like cash only.
Dude, I don't know what it is. There's something about that though, where someone's like, "Can you Venmo me?" I'm just like, oh.
You know what it is? I don't know what it is. When people use like these app names, just like in casual. Like I was talking to someone and they were talking about like, "Oh yeah, I got a Verbo." And I was like, I know what a Verbo is. It's basically like Airbnb.
Yeah.
But just the fact that it was just like dropped casually in conversation with no context, I was like, I hate this. I hate I hate looking at it because like, especially if you look at the word because it's just VRBO. Well, it's like, oh, it's not even real. Ugh.
It's not even real.
As someone who like appreciates the English language, get out of here. Sorry.
I think the thing that hurts the most is that people still use Venmo, and Venmo's hot garbage. At least use Cash App if you're going to use one of those. If you're not going to just use like Zelle from your bank, because like every major bank uses.
I was
going to
say I thought Venmo was the one with the bank, but no, I think it's Zelle.
It's Zelle is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think even Bank of America uses Zelle.
Yeah, they do. When I go on like my app, it's like something Zelle. I'm like, what is this? I don't care.
Yep.
Yeah,
I know it's so weird to think that like, oh, I use a bank app. Like I'm knowing myself, I'm the last kind of person that would like want to use that, and I don't really want to, but it is just so.
It's so convenient. It's so nice.
It really is. Yeah, I can't help it.
And just think, there's other highly advanced. First world countries that don't use that, and they still live in like the 80s, like Japan.
Yeah.
They don't believe in banking apps on your phone, and you still have to carry cash and shit everywhere.
Well, see, the stupid thing is, like, I totally agree with that 100%, but I don't do it.
Bro.
You don't practice it. Yeah.
I'm with you 100%, but like, it's so easy just carrying one piece of plastic to do everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think even like 8 years ago around here, like you'd see an older employee at the register and you'd pull out your debit card to buy like that tea.
Yeah.
It's like $1 and they're like, oh, I can't believe why are you using your card for that?
Yeah.
Just, like in their
that's
head,
like a George Carlin bit, isn't it? Where he's like fetching his credit card just to buy a bag of cheese doodles or something.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, it's always been the debit card for the longest time, but now that I have a really good points card, I just use a points card, just pay it off.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's the real secret. Use a fucking points card or something like that, so you're collecting points like hand over fist all the time, pay it off every month, and in the meantime, you get points back, so you get all kinds of reward shit.
Yep.
And then on top of that, that's how you get your fucking credit score through the roof and keep it up.
Yep.
That's literally it.
Yeah. That and like those the cashback cards, anything that gives you like Like I got one where it's like, oh yeah, I get 3% back on gas, which right now
That's
is
exactly
like,
what I
that's
get.
killer.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
pretty sweet.
I forgot. I was telling him this morning. I got an email. They're like, remember, you have 10% cash back at Shell.
Yo, that's actually
fucking right.
I gotta
that's
go
actually
get cash
awesome.
now.
Yeah. Holy crap, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So whatever gas deals are going to be around, like, hey, you can get 10% off or not.
I mean, at least like gas prices kind of stalled this week. They didn't go up or down.
True, yeah, they were pretty much
that was
like,
nice.
They were pretty flat, yeah.
It still hurts, like
Oh yeah,
$5.20 a gallon for premium because me and Alex drive turbo cars.
Oh, for me too. I put premium in mine.
Oh yeah, it hurts.
Yep.
But it's not that bad as long as it stays. It's when it keeps going up and up and up and up. I wish it would come back down, but
I wish it'd go down, 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 down.
yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I tolerate it because, like, again, I got this newer car, and I'm used to only getting like 300 miles out of a tank of gas, and that's like a big tank, like almost 20 gallons.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, oh, I get like another 150 miles out of a tank that's like 75% the size. So I'm like, I'm okay with this. I'll deal. I'll pay a little more and get that extra efficiency. Well, real interesting topic. I know.
That's the thing I miss about having my Tundra is like, that thing only got like 14 on a good day. But do you know how nice it was when you actually filled up that 40-gallon tank? Like, it sucked on the wallet. But then you 40 drive.
Gallons? That thing must have gone forever.
But you would drive 600-700 miles.
Yeah, 2 weeks probably.
Yeah. Yeah, literally, when I was in Vegas, like, I would do 2.5 weeks if I was only going to work. Like, between fill-ups. Like, if I wasn't doing anything else, like, going between to and from work and just stopping at the grocery store on my way home, and, like,
Yeah, that's like
awesome.
my Suburban. It lasts, like, if I fill it up, I think it's got like a 32-gallon tank. It'll last 2.5 weeks.
It's painful to fill.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it is
so-
absolute
Yeah, but
pain.
somehow, like, your lizard brain sees, like, oh, yeah, I'm only filling it up like 2 or 3, within every 2 or 3 weeks, and you're just like, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like one big bite, but fewer bites overall. So you're just kind of like, all right.
I don't know. Like, that was kind of one of those things where it was like, yeah, I'll make that trade-off. Like, because that's the thing that kills me about this STI that I drive.
Yeah.
Is like, yeah, it's cool and all, but it's got a 12-gallon tank. It's like, nah, man, give me like...
Is it really only 12 gallons?
Yeah.
it's
Oh, my God.
Why
that's
is
what
trying
my
to keep it-
CRVs
Yours
like
are
that,
smaller
too.
than mine.
Well,
Mine's like 15.
no, they're like 13.2 or some shit like
Yeah,
that is what they are.
I've put more than 14 gallons in mine before.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a 15-gallon tank.
Like, if I run mine down to, like, the wire, like, down to where it's on fumes, it only takes 13 gallons.
Weird. I've
That
definitely
is
put at least.
I don't know.
14 in.
Like, having 300 miles to a tank kind of blows with like a 30-mile commute each
Yeah.
way. So that's like 60 miles a day. It's like I'm max 5 days on a tank of gas.
Yep.
Like, but also, I know. I'm preaching to the choir about this one. I'm driving a fucking Subaru STI. Like, yeah, I get it. I bought the race car to daily drive it to commute to work in Massachusetts, which is like the stupidest fucking thing I could have ever done. I like the car, but like, yeah, dude, like,
What is
I'm
the
not gonna
mileage
lie.
on that thing?
21.
Oh, yeah. That's not
That's not awful. Like the Bonneville.
But look at it, though. Like, you go to my car, which is just the WRX, and I'm getting 27, 28 on the highway.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
So it's
wild.
that. I mean, it's completely different engine.
You know what's even
setup,
worse?
Mm.
You go get the new GR86 like BRZ,
Yep.
which is the newer version of his engine. So it's the KA24, not the KA20.
Yep.
But the KA24 is a fucking
Are you talking about the FA20?
FA. Yeah.
I was like,
I'm
wait.
FA24. I'm thinking 240SX for whatever reason.
Yeah.
My bad. So many engine codes and shit's flying around in my head right now. But the FA24 and the new one and those GR86s, those like 33.
Oh, my God.
On the highway.
Wow.
And the same
That's
12-gallon tank that's in the STI and shit like that. Granted, that thing has 100 less horsepower to the wheels than the STI, but it is rear-wheel drive. You can turn everything off, and, like, they are a blast to drive from what I've heard. I haven't driven one of the new ones. I've driven a couple of the old ones, and, like, I've thrown them around on, like, skid pads and stuff. The old ones are fucking awesome. I can't imagine what the new ones are.
Sweet.
So, but yeah, like same engine technology, just like in a different platform. It's getting over 30, and the SCI's here. Like, yeah, we got a bigger turbo. I mean, it also does have a close ratio transmission, and like the final drive, like the final 6 is lower than what it is in the WRX. So that's also part of the reason why I don't get as much.
Right.
Like to do 80, I'm at like 3,500.
Yeah,
but you also have to think
the non-fuel injection or whatever. Too.
Yeah, port injection still.
Well, I mean, the other thing you got to consider with like a GR86 is that like here in New England, that wouldn't necessarily be a car you'd want to drive year round. Like, oh yeah, you got a snowstorm. It's like, okay, well, you're staying home or you're just doing donuts like in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I got no problems with that.
No.
I have no problems with either outcomes
if you have the ability to do that. But, you know, if you're looking to buy one of those and use it as a year-long driver, that might not be the smartest
Not for New
play.
England.
Yeah. I mean, that's what discouraged me from getting something like a Crown Vic or a town car or whatever. It's like, they're awesome cars. They're practically bulletproof, but rear-wheel drive in New England, man. Yeah, I mean,
misery.
It's fine 9 months out of the year, but those other 3 months, it's hell.
Yeah.
Town car was always rear-wheel drive, right?
Oh, yeah.
Even up until the very, very end.
Yep. That whole platform.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. Anyways, weeks.
Yeah, weeks.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So I guess I'll start with the game of the week. You know, my usual Xbox Game Pass game. I played Wreckfest, which is kind of an interesting take on a racing game. You know, coming.
I got a Game Pass story after you're done with that, real quick.
All right. I'll remind you.
Yeah.
I recommend it if you're more into like the arcadey racers. It does have some kind of like sim options, like you can do like the manual clutch mode, and you know you could turn all the assists off. But at the end of the day, it's a tough sell because like the game is built around this soft body physics system. Like you may have seen videos of it online. It used to be called like Next Car Game or whatever when it was under development, and it was all about like watching these cars like crumble in an accident. And when that stuff works, it is phenomenal. Like the tech is amazing.
Yeah, it's like a demo derby game.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. It's and it's at its best in like that demo derby kind of stuff.
Does it have all the mini games? Like bowling and stuff? Or am I thinking of a different one?
No,
you know what it is? You're thinking of...
There's another one that's similar to that.
Yeah, that
has
one
mini
was
games.
all demo.
That
I
game,
know what you're talking about. But
Wreckfest is a continuation of Flat Out.
Correct.
That's what Flat Out is what I'm
thinking
thinking
of.
of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because
the same
Flat Out had the
development
mini
team.
games and
Yep.
shit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Flat Out was so much fun. That was like on the original Xbox. Those games were awesome.
That's what kind of bummed me out. You would think with all these cool physics, there would be a lot of like really goofy stunts to do.
The bowling and stuff.
But really, there's just, it's demo derby and like demo racing. And like some of the tracks are kind of zany. You get like the Hot Wheels loop-de-loops and stuff. But aside from that, it was kind of limited. I was expecting more anything, really. Just so it's kind of a tough sell in terms of content. But again, the physics are amazing, and I would imagine it'd be a great like split screen game. Like the whole time I was playing it, I used to play as a kid this game on the N64 called Destruction Derby 64.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude,
I think that's what I was thinking.
Oh,
of.
I had that on DOS on my PC at the time.
Yeah.
I played that all the time.
I bet I still have the cartridge.
You
for that
probably
sitting
do,
somewhere
yeah.
in my closet.
Yeah, and like that game, like it was pretty limited. I mean, obviously it was an N64 game, so it didn't look very good, but it played really fun. They had a ton of mini games.
You just drive in reverse and you win.
Yeah. And then like it had this mode like hot potato, but it was basically like a bomb. So basically there was one dude with the bomb, and anybody he hit, he passed the bomb to, and after like 30 seconds, the bomb would explode.
That was so much fun.
And like the thing is, like, you know, I think of that, and I'm just thinking, like, man, with soft body physics, a bomb exploding in a car would be like this amazing show of just all these effects going off, and it's not there. And I guess like that's kind of what hurts me the most is I see it and I see like all this potential that was left on the table. Because what you're left with is really just kind of like a pretty shallow arcade racer. I mean, it does have like, you know, car upgrades. The visual stuff you could sort of change. All the cars look junky. It's meant to look like a Destruction Derby kind of thing. So everything, you know, like you got bumpers hanging on chains and, you know, like headers straight out the hood and stuff. Like it's cool. And I actually really dig that aesthetic. It's something I really miss in, you know, like when I was playing Horizon 5. Like, I was like, you know, I kind of like some of these cars, but, man, I wish they had some real junkers in there. Because it would be, you know, because a lot of times, like, when you play that game in a more arcadey sense, you're really throwing it through a corner and just, like, bouncing off guardrails and other cars. And it's like, it's weird to do that in a Ferrari, but it makes total sense to do that in like a 1982 Cutlass.
I mean, they put a Fox body Mustang in it. Come
Exactly. So it'd be cool to like, take the windows out, put a steel cage over the windshield, and like weld the bar over the dours. There you go. But so I dig the aesthetic, and actually the racing, like that whole physics engine makes the driving and the racing feel surprisingly good. Like that's actually what really blew me away. Like when I was playing it, I was like, this doesn't feel like just like Need for Speed or like Grand Theft Auto 5, where it's just like the car kind of just goes where it's pointed. Like, no, it handles kind of like it reminds me of a very early Forza Motorsport. Yeah. So like maybe 2 or 3. So it's not quite perfect, but it's good enough where like you could be fooled.
Actually, I just remembered what was weird about that game when I first got it. I don't know what it was. If I had a certain controller plugged in when I was playing that game, it would just turn in a certain direction for no reason sometimes. It wouldn't do it. But like, it was just that controller. If I plugged another controller in,
is stick drift.
It's got some. It wouldn't do anything on other games though. It's the controller I use on all my other games, and it's fine.
Huh.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
Very.
That was when the game came out though, so they probably have fixed it by then. I mean,
that's the other thing.
This was years ago, so
because the release date on this thing was 2019, but it was very publicly like in beta, and they were having all these demonstrations on YouTube about like their physics and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a tough recommend. I'd say if you want kind of like a shallow arcadey racer to kind of like goof off in, it's great. But if you're looking for anything deeper, and especially if you're looking for like more fun game modes, I found it to be really lacking, and that was just kind of disappointing. So, 6 out of 10. It wasn't bad. The tech is there. I really hope if they make like a Wreckfest 2, or like they take this technology and bring it back to like flat out. Like we see some more zany modes. Like I want to, because right now it almost feels like it's hamstrung by those physics. Like they built the game around that, but didn't build enough of a game.
Yeah. So I guess the question is then is it worth $15? Did you get $15 of entertainment out of it?
Well, I only have the PC Game Pass, so I think I pay $10 a month. And in that regard, I would say it's worth about that.
I mean,
it's like, again, Game Pass, love it or hate it, it's good value. And especially if it's like, a lot of these games you wouldn't necessarily try. Like me, I very rarely buy new games, so it gives me an opportunity to play a lot of games that I wouldn't spend money on. Mm-hmm. And this is one of them.
Well, hey, no. As long as you enjoyed it and it was like, hey, it was worth $10. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And especially for like, if you like, you've got like kids and you want to play a game with them, it's, it's pretty tame. Like, and obviously Destruction Derby games, like it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Like the multiplayer experience is great. Mm-hmm.
Does it have a split screen type thing?
I didn't get to test that on PC. I know there's a lot of weirdness when it comes to that. Like I noticed, in the Master Chief Collection, I know it's like a completely different game, but even though like a lot of it is like the same port they use on the Xbox, there's no split screen options available for PC. So you can't just pump it out to a TV and just fire up split screen.
PC starts to get weird with like multiple controllers,
right?
Because of the way it's all just set up. Yeah. That's why, because I've tried and I've hit that wall before, and it's like, what? I'm just gonna plug a fucking Xbox in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
aside from that, not too much else to report. Yeah. How about you, James? What have you been up to this week?
Well, real quick, I want to tell that Game Pass story.
Oh, yeah.
So Joey comes to me this week. He's like, yo, Game Pass isn't working. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Can you help me? And it was for like a newer game. There's like a newer RTS game on there or something like that. Like,
okay.
It's only been like they just put it on like 2 or 3 months ago. Smaller indie game or whatever. And couldn't figure it out. Don't know what's going on, but like it just won't turn on. So he's doing all this research trying to figure out what the hell's going on and everything like that. Come to find out, Game Pass literally forces you to update Windows.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So if they push a Windows update, you have to like download and run the update every so often because like they force it for certain games that are on there.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually kind of creepy.
So learned that one this week, and that's a really irritating one because what always happens is every time I update my computer, all of the recording stuff, like all of the setup, like all of the OBS and everything, like every time you update Windows, it fucking explodes.
Yep.
Explodes, and you have to go in and reset it up. So like I will update my like PC like once every like 8 months, maybe.
Jeez.
I'll do like a Windows update. And that's super irritating.
Yeah, I used to do stuff like that too, but recently I've just kind of stopped caring. I'm just like, whatever. Like, no, I'm not going to explain what I do with my copy of Windows.
No, it's all good. I'm just saying, like, that for me, that's irritating.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you have all this shit set up, like, and you're doing all of this shit, it gets really
just one more
irritating.
thing.
I mean, in
fast.
general, it's pretty frustrating because you think, like, you know, just to use the Game Pass, you already basically have to use Windows unless you're doing, like, you know, the online streaming thing. Like, you know, you're playing it off-site, basically.
Yeah.
But then, like, oh, yeah, so not only are they forcing you to run Windows, it's like, oh, no, they're forcing you to run
The
a
current
constantly updated version of Windows. It's like, oh, boy. Because, man, sometimes they are pretty hit or miss with their updates.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes they push them out and it breaks something.
Oh, yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be routine. Nowadays, they've gotten a little bit better, but man, in the early days of like Windows 8 and 10, like it was, dude, every other update broke something.
You did not
And I
update-
don't have like half this cool stuff. Like I was just like, you know, a gaming laptop, and it'd be like, oh yeah, cool, video card driver broke. Sweet.
Yeah, and it's because Windows doesn't want to play nice with it.
Yep.
And that's the thing too, is like, that's why it was always like, no. You do not update Windows until like a service pack hits.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You always
And,
wait
like,
for like a big major update.
I still have that mentality, but like they don't do that anymore.
No, now
So
they
to
do like
say-
the
They do the Apple thing,
they do like, yeah, the 22H1 update or some crap like that.
which is like really irritating.
Yes.
But so yeah, we did that. And then other things that we did this week was so moved the Corolla to the shop.
Yep.
That was this
So,
morning.
Yeah, that was an event this morning.
Dude, our timing with like what I had to do and you had to do today was
Perfect.
literally within like 30 seconds.
Nice.
Because I had to do my tires on my car at 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
And we met up at what, like 10:30, 11?
No. You got to my house like probably 9:50, and then we went and picked up the trailer earlier.
Yeah.
So we went. Alex brought his truck over. We went and rented a U-Haul from like this place over in Salem, like Salem U-Haul or whatever. I forget what it was called.
I'm already laughing from this
God,
experience.
dude! Like, so it turns out like it looks like a little office next to like a mechanic shop and everything where they're renting the U-Hauls from. They have all the trucks and trailers out there, and okay. So this lady comes out. Well, Alex like drops me off and he's lining up with the trailer. And like this lady comes out, she's like, "What are you doing?" She's like all yelling at us. It's like, "Oh, here we go." She's yelling, she's all crusty, like, you know, a little bit of dried out.
Okay.
You know, the exact kind. You've lived here long enough in New Hampshire,
Had
New
some
England,
miles.
whatever. You know, yeah.
I had to say it. I'm going to use this reference since your dad said it.
Anyway,
David
there's
Nutter,
not a
right?
reason to say it because my dad said it. My dad says a lot of terrible
Okay,
things.
but wait a minute. That's like... I guess I dug myself in a hole, but
Yeah,
like,
you did.
But like, I don't say all the things he says. Okay, just that
I
one's
know.
a good one.
I know.
Dad says a lot of terrible things.
Yeah, he does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, that's funny.
So I have to go in there. It turns out like it's not like an office. It's their fucking house.
Oh my god.
And I walk in and like dog's on the couch going blind, just barking, won't stop barking. And then like the lady's doing it and she's all pissed off. And of course she's got like all this stuff. Like, I fucking hate my job. Like all these pictures and stickers and stuff.
Oh,
on
you
her
didn't tell
desk.
me about that. All the
Oh,
decorations.
yeah. She had one that's like, "I hate this place. I'm too young to leave. Like not stay or
Meanwhile,
don't want a fucking affair or whatever the hell. Like, so I'm stuck here." And it's just like, dude, like,
when you just said too young to leave, okay, this lady, like, if let's say, I'm just gonna say she's
50 at least.
yeah, at least, but I was almost gonna say she's probably 45, but looks 72 because she smokes too many butts.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest,
no.
I bet half the semi truck she probably drove them, which I'm fine with. Men, women of any age driving trucks, but I mean, she just looked like a rough trucker, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, dude, like the attitude and everything. Like at one point,
shitty.
she's like, "All right, well, you got to give your license, and I'm going to send this to you on your phone, and you have to give your phone to me and take the pictures of the license and everything." Just painful to be around.
Yeah.
Like terrible. And And it's just like, she's sitting there, she's like, your phone fucking sucks. You can't take pictures for shit. Meanwhile, she's got it on her dark colored desk. There's like one light from like a ceiling fan, and she's covering the light. So the phone won't recognize it. And she's like, well, I'm just going to have to do this on my phone. Your phone fucking sucks.
Why did she even have to use your phone anyways?
Stupid.
That is
That's
a
one
good
of those
question.
things.
Yeah.
I think almost I would have been like, I don't have a phone. She'd be like, you're like a
I do that all the time.
late 20s, maybe 30-something-year-old, whatever, and you don't have a phone. I'm like, nope, don't have one.
Oh, and she'll give you the fucking attitude and everything. Anyways, get through with that. Go to hook it up, and like,
oh boy.
she's fucking yelling about it. She's like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, whatever the fuck. Like, you gotta use the hook. You're using the wrong fucking hooks. And she's like, just give it to me. And she goes and does it. And she's like pushing me out of the way. And she's like, I fucking hate this week. I fucking hate this. Fuck this job. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
Like,
she's under the truck trying to get the chains through the backup chains through that slot on the truck, which I'm going to say it probably took at least 6 minutes.
For her to do it.
Just to put
yeah.
that through. Now, when we dropped the trailer off, backed it up, and I went and unhooked one side, he unhooked the other side, it took maybe 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, just getting it lined up, and like, whoop, right out. I'm like, wow, this was really hard.
Yeah, yeah.
And this lady,
Yeah.
she was the type that assumed, not even assumed, she knew
Yeah.
that you knew nothing about what was going on.
Boy.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yeah.
The talking down to you.
Just
exactly.
like misery. Like it was one of those where it's like, I'm gonna get the review. I know I'm gonna get the review, and I'm gonna write in there. I'm gonna put it like the most mid fucking review, and all I'm gonna put in there is like, you don't have to be miserable. You can choose to be happy, or you can choose to be miserable. And like that lady was just fucking miserable the whole time, and it's like there's no reason to be miserable about this.
Yeah. Well,
No reason.
Yeah, that's really weird. I will say from my experience with U-Hauls, it's never consistent. I've never had a consistent experience with U-Haul. Like
No,
some
me
places, like I found that storage places, like any place that has like, it's they just do self-storage, but they also have rental trucks on. Like they always seem to be the best.
Yeah.
Followed by, there was one place I went to in Virginia. I was helping my cousin move, and we had a blowout towing his Mustang on the highway. And there was a place in Virginia, and I wish I remember the name of it because the guy there was super cool. Because we just rolled in with like, we had to get like Virginia DOT to come, and they helped put the spare on. And then it turns out the trailer's bent, so it's like, oh well, we gotta get this thing off because it's gonna blow another tire before we get to New York City. Yeah. And they like the dude there was super helpful. They weren't like they had that trailer like reserved for somebody else, but they're like, you know what, we could push them back because you guys got to get somewhere. We had like, it was my cousin's family. He's got like a screaming baby and like 3 dogs, so it's like we're just gonna get you guys back on the road, and like that was a super nice experience. But yeah, and then occasionally you'll see like these ones where it's just like side of the road, like some dude's house U-Haul, and those are like. I don't know how U-Haul does their business, but it lacks any form of consistency. Like the trucks themselves are usually fine. The trailers themselves are usually fine, but the people they get to run these places is just, I don't understand it. I will never know.
Yeah, but like, you know what? That whole thing is like that lady chose to be miserable.
That sounds even weirder because you said like she's running it out of her house. It's like, wait. So you're just getting paid to sit around your house and rent stuff out? Like, that seems like the dream.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's fucking whatever.
And like part of me almost thought that mechanic shop is like hers or something, or maybe if
like
there's a family member, husband, exactly. Because like in that same lot, they had, because like the house was, right here, and almost touching the house was the mechanic shop. And then they had like a bunch of tractor trailers and stuff there too, and various
so it was
stuff.
like a whole like equipment rental.
Like
there was
clearly
some
like a
sort
diesel
of operation,
mechanic.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Gotcha.
But yeah, like that lady chose to be miserable.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
That's what it sounds like.
You know what? I didn't even realize, was she sitting in that truck while we backed the truck in? Like, she was sitting in one of the U-Haul trucks that
fucking smoking
it was facing out, and we were backing in, and he was just kind of doing one of these, but it was kind of a shitty spot to pull in. He didn't want to hit anything. Well, he was taking his extra time.
Well, not only that, there's a huge fucking puddle right there in front of it.
The parking lot was
huge fucking puddle.
Yeah, so, like, we unhooked the trailer. It's done. And she gets out of the truck, and I see her poke up, and she goes, oh, you got to lift up that tab to pull the hitch off. It's like, I think everybody knows you got to lift up that little thing that locks the ball on. And I just literally was just like, yeah, we're fine. And she stopped talking. And we go to leave after she drives her truck off or something. She's like, don't go over here. Like, he just wanted to check and be like, hey, is everything all set?
Yeah. You're right. And instead she's yelling at me, don't fucking drive over that, whatever.
Drive over that. And that's when you just left.
I was like, whatever, fuck you. And just drove off.
Drive over it anyways.
Like, don't be fucking miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're running a business too, holy crap.
That's
news.
I don't want to get too far into it, but like, that's the thing that kills me, especially about America today, is like, so many people choose to be fucking miserable and just treat each other like shit. It drives me nuts. But anyways, that's as far as I'll go with that one. But yeah, so then there's that. So then there was the whole, like, getting the car on the trailer we got that. We did that pretty easily. But then getting it off was like wonderful.
Well, actually, in like an actual wonderful way, and like a wonderful way.
It kind of worked out both ways. Like, so we're backing it off, or like, there's no drive line, there's no nothing. It doesn't run. So
yeah, it's basically a roller.
Yeah. So we're kind of pulling it back, and as we're going down, like, the wheel starts to turn because the manual rack, it happens, whatever. And then we're like almost there, and Alex like, oh shit, the wheel's coming off, stop. So like,
yeah, we're
trying to hold it, and like it's at this point where like, if Alex lets go, it's just gonna come on me, and like we're holding it, and like our shoes are sliding in the dirt. Anyway, so it's going, and then the wheel just comes off the trailer, and it's just like, son of a bitch.
Like the to put like the picture into perspective, I'm looking at it on the right, and we loaded it. The right side was on
right the trailer.
The trailer's like this, where you put the wheels, obviously. Yeah. Let's say this is the inside. So into the middle of the empty space in the trailer,
right.
The tire was like this, almost going over. And we loaded it, and we're looking at it like, okay, well, the lip is still there. It's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
Well, okay.
We'll deal with that when we unload it.
Let's be real here. This is a tiny Japanese car.
Yeah.
Like, even if we were to like line that thing up perfectly, there wouldn't even be an inch on either side from the inside lip of the trailer.
I think we could have definitely done it better.
Yeah, no, we could have, but
it was good enough.
I think it's tough when you got a roller, because it's like, it's one thing to do it with a powered car, because then it's like, oh, okay, well, you're crooked. All right, well, we'll give it the beans and get it back up, and then just realign
That's
yourself.
why we didn't realign it, because we had already pushed it on.
Yeah,
it took a little bit of effort to push that thing on
sure,
there.
yeah.
But it's not like we were going that far. We weren't even going 5 miles down the road.
Right.
No.
So then when it came off, right? So all four wheels are on the ground except for the front left. And go figure, like, part of the front frame rail, like where the bumper hooks up, has like this like lip that kind of comes down to hook onto the bumper, and that fucking part is on the inside of the trailer.
Oh no!
It's like, motherfucker, here we go.
Like, we got the, that right tire in the front is over that middle like hump.
Yeah.
And the driver's side front tire is on the ramp. Rear tires are on the dirt.
Yeah.
So we're like, do we want to just like drive the trailer forward and just let it
go?
Get
a jack.
Do we want to shove it, whatever? And then you had the good idea of, let me jack the trailer up, just make it go back a little bit.
So my thought was like, all right, go get a jack. We'll just do it. We'll do it where we'll move the trailer. So we'll just jack the car up and then go from there. And then so I just went over and I started just unwinding the trailer jack to just bring it up as high as possible to get it down. Yep. So like, because like it hooks, it's almost, it's like a stepping down a stair. It looks like that. I was like, all right, so you know what, whatever. We'll just like, I'll lower the back of the trailer by raising the front as high as it'll go.
Right. So you're basically trying to do this. That way there's less distance.
So I bring the trailer all the way up as far as it'll go. And then we're kind of sitting there and we're kind of looking at it. And it's like, all right, well, let's go get the jack and then go from there.
The front. Yep.
And then like, as we're looking at it, the car just rolls off and stops.
and I'm talking, it was like, both of us went to the front and like, maybe we could just push it. Like, it's not on there that much. And it was one of those, like, we did this. And it just so gently just
we didn't even touch it. It just rolled off.
No, I know. We're like thinking about it, and it just no noises either, no clunks, no bangs, no nothing. It just glides off and stops. Just past, so we could put everything away.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I looked at James. I was like, "That's a sign." I'm like, "You gotta keep this car because it likes you."
So
it knows you.
So here's the thing too: is like that is like Andrea and Tommy's old car. That car has seen some shit, and Andrea used to call that car Eleanor because that car tried to kill her a couple times. Like if you look, like one of the frame rails, like where the bumper is mount, is kind of bent, Well, that was one of the times where she's out drifting. The throttle cable snapped and it sent her into the wall.
Oh my god!
Because there's no more power going to the rear, so the wheels just kind of stopped spinning, hooked up, and it just sent her into the wall. And she's hit a couple guardrails and stuff, but like that thing is in immaculate shape for the kind of abuse it went through for being 40 years old. Like the body's straight, the frame is straight outside of like the bumpers in the front, and like everything's clean. There's only like 1 or 2 small spots of rust. And they're like inconsequential areas that's going to be like and just welded plate in. And that's part of the reason why I kept it is like if
it's clean, what the hell?
I guarantee you, like to find a body that clean, you're going to spend $10,000 out here.
Yeah.
Just to find one, unless someone else brought one in up here, because that's just the nature of it. But then again, also at that price, you're going to get a running one. But
I'm also just thinking of the I know what I have kind of people.
Yeah. I mean, it's Corollas. Corollas they're expensive to play with. That's just the nature of it. They're hard to get parts and everything.
I haven't seen one of those around here. Like, I don't think ever. So you'll have a pretty.
No, maybe 1 or 2.
All right, hold on. While he's here. Well, no.
I don't know.
But what are you doing?
Give us
Bowser.
the sniff.
Bowser. Look,
we need the dog sniffs.
we need the dog sniff. Look, no. Okay.
I don't know. He's a little wound up right now.
He really
after
wants to
something.
get in over
There
there.
we go.
I don't know if
Oh,
A couple licks too. There you go. You got it. You got the sniffs.
We got a little more than sniffs.
Yeah, so there's that. And then the only other thing I want to talk about real quick is that we started recording Metal Wolf Chaos. So
We did, yeah.
I'm doing that with Eddie. And that's going to be coming out as a Let's Play series on the channel eventually. I've got to do a bunch of editing to it. And in the meantime, like I'm like at that 75% mark on Elden Ring. So I'm going to fucking finish it. Here's like a 100+ hour project. I'm right there.
Yep.
I'm just going to finish it, and then I'll worry about editing and getting into all this other stuff because I just want to get that done and over with. I love that game, but I have been like stuck on stupid because of that game, if that makes sense. Like I have this $10,000 driving rig, like driving simulator rig just for drifting and shit like that. I barely touched that thing. Like I haven't sat down for like more than 15 minutes in that thing in over a month. Oh, because it's just like every time I get a chance to do it, it's like Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
Too bad you can't play that in the... You should set it up so you can, like your heavy attack is going to be the throttle.
Yeah.
Oh, no, get on the horse and then control the steering wheel.
Yeah. But anyways, that's about it for me, so...
Alex?
Oh, what did I... So,
yeah, Alex. What have you been up to?
So, unfortunately, I fell victim to what I think was the Jif peanut butter recall.
Oh, no.
The what?
So, they recalled Jif peanut butter for salmonella.
Oh,
and I'm pretty sure early in the week I got a little bit of that.
Oh,
because I was calling out, like, basically all week. And, like, I went to work, like, Monday after, like, being sick and then being fine. I went to work Monday or something. And then Tuesday, I was like, "Oh, I ain't coming in." And then, yeah. So, anyways, I had that. So I had some days of feeling okay and played some games. So I did pick up Prey.
Oh yeah.
So I played through that. I beat that in like 17 hours or something. Pretty short. That was a lot of fun. Honestly, I think as far as I gotta definitely say, one of my favorite features that you don't do a ton in the game was flying around like EVA out in space. When you actually go out in there, they had awesome controls and the way everything functioned, the physics and everything for like your little jetpack and stuff.
Nice.
It actually felt like, even the sound, just like the little.
Oh yeah.
And they had that like vacuum of space noise, just like kind of silent, not a lot going on. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
So, did you ever play the story mode of Infinite Warfare?
That was the sci-fi Call of Duty.
Yeah, that was the one way in the future. That one has
Infinite Warfare? I don't think so.
That one has some really cool sequences in the story mode where you're like flying around in space sniping people. Like there's one where you're like trying to storm a base in an asteroid field, but you got a sniper rifle, and you're just like you're jumping between asteroids, like you're jumping between everything, like sniping people. But anyways.
Yeah, I mean, other than the actual legitimate sci-fi weapons in the game. Like you're out there with a shotgun and you're like, okay, there's no oxygen out here, no air. How does the spark happen to ignite the gunpowder? And then I'm like, you know what? This is a game where like everything that's going on does not exist in real life, so I'm not gonna complain.
True.
So yeah, I have my space shotgun whatever.
That has always been like one of the. I think that is like still one of the great debates. It's like, oh, would a gun work in space? And I still don't have like a clear answer on it because some people are like, yes. Some people are no. Some people are like, well, like nothing that relies on like a piston would work, but like if it's like a bolt action, it might.
Well, think about this though. No matter what, you're going to have springs and a firing pin or a striker to activate your, primer on your, which actually needs some sort of spark or flame, which I think between vacuum and lack of like oxygen,
well, because some people are like, oh yeah, there's air trapped in the casing, so that might work. But like, with a shotgun, it's like, I don't know, that's pretty loose. Like,
I guess my thing on that is if like I took my box of 9mm and threw it in a pool and left it there for a few hours,
right?
Guess what? They're not so sealed anymore.
Right.
Yeah. I guess in theory you could like seal it enough to be like hermetically sealed, which I guess you'd have to.
Wouldn't that technically like affect the velocity of the bullet then? Like it wouldn't be as effective?
I don't know.
Possibly.
Would it though? Because now you also don't have air resistance.
Unless it's the other way around. Because it's like if you threw a rock in space, it's not going to stop.
All right.
It's just going to keep going. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like I hear so many different answers that I really don't think anybody's going to know until like the one day we have some maniac bring a shotgun in space.
Yeah.
Do it. And you know what? I'm going to... Not that should happen. Otherwise, like just
we don't want to militarize space.
No,
but for scientific
I don't
purposes,
mean like that.
it's just one gun.
I mean like the crazy guy, crazy guy sneaking it up there.
Actually, fun fact: I remember reading about this at one point back in the Soviet Union days. I think they had a space station with like an autocannon on it, like a 23 millimeter like aircraft grade autocannon. But I don't think they ever fired it. Like, they brought it up there, like, I don't know if it was, like, to shoot down missiles or if it was just a test or it might not even got off the ground. Like, it might have been one of those ones where it, like, blew up before it got into space or something. Because, with any of their, like, military projects, it's, like, whatever paperwork survives is what you know.
Yeah.
Because, like, the civilian program, they documented pretty well because, they have a pretty good space program. But, like, all the military stuff, it's like, oh, yeah, spy satellites, nobody knows. And that was one of them. But I do know that, like, either they planned it or they did actually try to send a space station up with, like, a weird...
That's cool.
A weird gun on it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it would have been nice to know.
Ooh, now, you know what, though? Railguns. That would probably work. Great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you don't need propellant, so...
We need that one on whatever battleship we have. That thing is nuts when you watch that thing shoot.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, well all the lights just dimmed over near the power plant when firing that thing one time.
Yeah, because you have to charge all those capacitors and then fucking release them all at one time across the magnets in a wave in order to accelerate a fucking ferrous piece of metal.
Yep.
Like, here's our 6-pound projectile that just blew up that island over there.
Railgun.
Like, it was going 58,000 miles per hour. I don't know the stats, but it's something. It's a stupid
when you see
velocity.
the projectile come out like on fire because it's like moving so fast.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, by the way, there's absolutely no incendiaries in that.
Yeah, you don't need it. You don't need it. It's just moving fast.
It makes that nasty.
You know
crap.
what? Let's just look at Resident Evil 3.
Oh, Jill with the gun
in the remake. Yeah, Jill's got the rail gun at the very end.
That was so fun to shoot the Nemesis with that. Like, give me that thing.
That's at the very end when you fire the final shot is where she should have said the line, "You want stars? I'll give you stars." Instead, she says that in like one of the sequences, like in the middle of the game where you're running away, and it's like the OG Resident Evil 3. She says that when you kill him at the final, when you finally
that's
kill
like
him.
that's one of the final lines.
I don't know. M2 or whatever the hell it was at Capcom, they did not do a good enough job with RE3 remake as the main dev team did with RE2 remake. But I love those games.
I still love
2 is way better than 3.
I didn't really play 2, but I played 3, so that's why like playing the remake for 3 was like super awesome because I was like, oh, I remember these scenes in this, this area.
You hadn't been spoiled yet by seeing like how good the remake of 2. was.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't play the remake of 2, and I didn't play the original of 2.
Okay, yeah. So like
that's what I mean.
That's what you're missing is like, so if you remember back playing 3, like you kind of ran around the city in like an open time, and Nemesis was following you the whole entire time.
Yeah,
like Mr. X does in certain Mr. X doesn't follow you the whole time, but like when he's there, like he's fucking following you.
Yeah.
And like you have to get around him. And like any noise you make, like if you make a lot of noise, he's gonna be there. And like there's a difference in it to where it's like if you're making a lot of noise, he will be there within 15 seconds, even if he's on the other side of RPD.
Yep.
When you're just in the first part of RPD. And like if you're quiet, like you've got a minute and a half to do what you gotta do. But like you can't fire your gun, like engage in a zombie or anything. So like you're like, oh fucking I gotta get around. Yeah. No, like the main studio, like the main dev team, I forget what they call it, Dev 1 or whatever. Capcom has weird names for all their teams. And like I believe it's Dev 1 and M2.
Those are cool names though. Actually.
And just like
yeah, they kind of are.
M2 didn't do anywhere near as good of a job as Dev 1 did with the remake. And that's the part that kind of scares me is that it's said that M2 is doing RE4 remake. Not Dev 1.
You know what though? I still like 3. I know 4 is like one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, but like okay.
But if it comes out at least like 3 for me, I'll be okay with it.
Nah, dude, like to do a remake of 4, you gotta like keep 100% faithful and just add like a couple rooms here and there and then update graphics and like update.
That's the big
engine.
one. I was gonna say like gameplay wise, that's probably like one of the more modern ones.
You
like,
just gotta update the engine.
Era.
Like I'm not gonna lie to you, like going back and playing the OG ones, I struggle with it because tank controls were always really obtuse.
yeah. It's
back in
rough.
the day I was good at it. Like now, but like if I try to pick up RE4, that game has aged like milk for me because I can't do it. I can't do tank controls. And that's what it is it's modified tank controls for third person.
Right.
Which I understand it, but like it just disconnects in my brain.
Yeah.
And like nothing against RE4. RE4 is awesome. But there's other games that have come out and like I love RE4. Don't take this as like me hating on RE4.
Yeah.
This is not me hating on RE4. But like there is other games like Dead Space 1 and 2. Like I love Dead Space. Like both 1 and 2 like are higher on my list than RE4. And RE4 is in my top 10. Like there is no questions about it. But like dude, just being able to strafe walk rather than have to like turn because you're on a tank control, like my brain cannot compute RE4 anymore.
You know what it is? It reminds me of like one of those things where it's like a game kind of invents the genre, but might not have got it perfect. Yeah. And since that game came out, other games have come on and perfected the control scheme.
Well,
So now it's like, going back and playing this, like it's the same game I remember, but man, these controls are bad.
Well,
or whatever, anything.
It's not that. It's just like you just got to swap it. Just make it work like a typical like so you strafe when you're walking because they nailed it with 5 and like. I will get a lot of hate with this if this ever gets out to like the big masses. I prefer 5 to 4. Wait, it's not the story. It's not the story. It's because you get to strafe, right?
Yeah.
I can still play that game without like having a mental breakdown. And 2, I love the co-op no matter how campy and how stupid it was.
Okay,
no, that's
when
true.
some's fallen off.
Good time.
Yeah,
like how many times, Alex, when we played that game when it first came out, would one of us just be falling off a ledge, like waiting for a hand to be picked up, and the other one's just standing there over them,
spamming,
just standing over, spamming. Come on, hurry, come on, hurry, and like all you do is just wave the arm up. Come on, hurry, like
the goofy emotes.
It's not that I don't like 4. It's that like I just have better memories of 5.
Yeah,
because 5 had the co-op and the amount of bullshit and everything like that. It was just so much fun.
That really was a golden age for co-op too. Like around the time when 5 came out, like there were so many like just good
Halo
good
3
couch co-op,
Yeah,
like 2 to 4 player games. It was just amazing.
Like, especially with my buddy Jaren. It was like Halo 3 into like Resident Evil game, like it's 2-player.
Yep.
Like, midnight release,
dude,
let's
amazing.
go.
Dude, we got Halo 3, Reach, ODST, Gears 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
RE5, like all in the same console.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much like
was an
5
amazing
I
time.
played in general, and like Forge and Horde mode. Just all those games were just like the cycle.
Yep.
Yeah.
It really was.
Anyways, you want to continue your week? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I know we really kind of derailed.
Oh, I was
that.
like, what even was I saying? Was it my turn? What
We were still talking about games.
I guess just that I didn't actually do that much more this week. And this morning was us running around with this car. trying to think of anything else. No, it was pretty bad. It was just being lazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were. Sounds like you were sick for at least half. So
yeah, so I just blame Jif. So don't eat that peanut butter right now, guys. Just don't eat it. Pick something else. I'm gonna have to pick something else too, and I don't know how.
I swear
Skippy
by
with honey.
I swear by Skippy.
I think I'll go with that too. But there's. I know it sounds weird that I like the reduced fat Jif better, but that actually has a different consistency and flavor than the regular one. And I've been eating that for years, and it's been the hands down best one for me.
You know what? This is going to sound completely stupid because you just think like, oh yeah, peanut butter is peanut butter. But man, I cannot eat like friggin' Smuckers. Like it sucks.
I haven't had that
it's
one.
It's the worst. I only eat Skippy. Like anytime I get anything else, I'm like, it's peanut butter. But it's not my peanut butter.
Yeah,
Skippy with the honey. Skippy with the honey, dude.
I just get regular.
Skippy with the honey is that. You know what? That's what I'm getting.
I usually just get regular Skippy because like sometimes I don't want the honey flavor. And like if you get it with it in it, you can't choose to have it. But if you want that, you can always just put honey on it.
You can always add it. Yeah. But having like an English muffin, you put the peanut butter on it, and then you put the honey on it. It's like, whoo. You ever put butter underneath it too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sweet
it's
cheese.
such a mess. Like your whole arm is nasty. And you're like, well, I'm going to play games anyways.
that is like the best the absolute best of the hippie food. It is so friggin' good. Yep.
See, I like to do that with bagels. Only rather than doing peanut butter, I'll do jelly. So I'll do butter jelly, and then I'll sprinkle cinnamon on it, like fresh cinnamon. That's a good one.
Yeah, any butter and jelly is also like that's basically like eating dessert for breakfast.
Yeah, with some cinnamon. Oh
yeah, it's so good.
Oh, I did have something to say though. When you were talking about the like destructible cars.
Oh yeah, Wreckfest.
Wreckfest.
Yep.
So I think I haven't played not a car, but like a zombie game, Killing Floor 2.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen the destructible bodies?
Yeah.
Like I know
amazing.
It's even people have even written articles that it's. I think it might still be like the best game for gore effects.
Yeah,
gore effects,
injuries,
dude. Yeah. That like there was a game before that. I think it was Soldier of Fortune that had like this whole thing where it's like they had like the body divided up into like 20 zones, and if you hit a guy in the knee, he reacts differently than if you hit him like in the gut.
I don't.
But Killing Floor like did that, but then also added like the mocap and everything to it. So it's like you watch these dudes like stumble around.
Oh yeah.
It's really incredible.
Yeah, I have a friend I play that with, and I think I've logged at least like 800 hours in Killing Floor 2.
Holy moly.
Well, you have to let me know when you're playing it, because I also play a lot of Killing Floor 2. That's one of my favorite games.
I do have it on PC, and I do have it on PS. So I play it on PlayStation
Xbox.
the most.
I see, okay.
I wish they were crossplay, because
yeah.
I'd be calling you weekly to play it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All the time. It'll be Friday night if I don't go out or something. You know, my buddy Sean's like, hey, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, well, it's either going to be Stardew Valley, Killing Floor 2, or whatever, because it's one of those, like, like
it's a game you can just play.
He's the go-to, like, game friend. So it's just like, all right, let's play Killing Floor for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, no, I'll get lost in that game. I love it.
So good.
I just bounce between, like, pub servers, and, like, sometimes I'll play a serious
Fucking
match, and then I'll just boot up, like, oh, yeah, Mario 64 Castle. Like, yeah, all right.
That game is pure chaos. It's just constant.
It's
just
awesome.
Everything on the screen is just pure, like,
oh, yeah.
What is happening right
now? It gets crazy. And I love 1 as well. Like, I played 1 to death.
See, I never really got into 2, but I played so much fucking 1 on Steam.
I wish if you get into 2, just get into the PlayStation. We're gonna
I'm just saying, like, I played
I will
so
admit,
much 1.
Like, as someone who played 1 religiously, when I first played 2, I didn't like it.
Because there wasn't enough content to it yet. And
when
for
it first
years, like people like you and I had been playing 1 with mods and all these custom servers and all of this crazy shit.
Killing Floor 2 just had a big hill to climb in that regard.
Which it climbed it did over time.
Now we're what did it come out in like 2017 or 16 or something? So it's like they've had years to get over that hill.
They are making a 3.
Yeah,
it has been actually said, yes, we're making a 3, and I can't wait for that.
I hope they get that same team that did the mocap, because I keep derailing everything. The team that made that did the mocap for Killing Floor 2, I don't think it's the program. I think Tripwire did that, who did like Red Orchestra and games like that. But the mocap guys they got were the same team that did a game called Blacklight Retribution.
Oh, that game was so much fun.
If you look when you launch the game, one of the teams that comes up is called Hardsuit Labs, and it's named after the Hardsuit from Blacklight Retribution, which had like this. Dude, I know we played it a lot. That was one of the better like free to play shooters. Of
that game
era.
was so good.
I played it for a while,
and then
too.
they dropped fucking tactical insertion with the Halo drop, and just like that game was never the same after that patch.
Yeah,
but pre that patch,
it was an experience.
Oh my god, that was like the best FPS by such a long shot.
Yep. So I don't know how much work that Hardsuit did into it, but like you can. If you ever played Blacklight, you can kind of see some of like the engine comparisons, like that high frame rate Unreal, and it just like the reload animations, like it just looks good. So
yeah, I mean, it's so satisfying to have like your 500 Magnum and you shoot some dude point blank in the skull in slow mo, and there's just like eyeballs,
so good.
There's like teeth coming out. And you're like,
Yeah, and it's like no offense to Tripwire's other games, like Red Orchestra 2 is like amazingly fun.
Those are fun games.
But like, you know, at the end of the day, you could still see kind of like some of that homebrew jank because it's like, you know, Tripwire's kind of a smaller studio.
Yeah.
But Killing Floor 2 on the other hand just had like just such a degree of polish on it.
Yeah.
By compare, like they still haven't matched. I mean, I know like they did Rising Storm, which is like or it might be called Rising Storm. There's a Vietnam spin-off of Red Orchestra 2.
Oh, really?
And that came out later.
Oh my god, that was nowhere near as good as Red Orchestra.
No.
Yeah, I remember.
Like it was fun, and like it carried over a lot of that kind of charm. But yeah, it still wasn't as polished. Like even though it came out later, like I don't know, just Killing Floor 2, they really nailed everything.
Yeah.
Yo, real quick before we move on to Matt's week, I just want to drop something real quick.
Yeah.
Have you seen Sulaco yet on Patreon and like Kickstarter and stuff like that?
What is that?
Okay, it's this newer like FPS. It's like getting some Steam. The Steam demo's coming out like next month. And the only way to get like access to even the demo right now is through their Patreon. But like, so first person shooter, it's done like in like the style of like the OG like Quake 3 style engine.
Okay.
Right? But it's kind of like really cyberpunky themed stuff like that. You play this girl trying to get away or do some shit like that. Not much has come out. But these guys, they fucking love fear.
Oh,
they fucking love fear. They love fear to the point where they put the penetrator in this game.
Yes,
this is what you were talking about the other day. Yeah.
This game is so fucking cool looking because everything's doing it, and it's all like in this like retro style, like retro cyberpunk style. Like this game clearly plays in 60 FPS, but all the gun animations are in like 15 FPS.
Yeah, like that
like
classic.
stylish, like so like the reload and everything is so cool. It plays like Fear without the slow-mo, so it's actually pretty tactical. Like, you have to be, like, smart about what you're doing.
Nice.
But you can upgrade the guns and shit like that so far. And, like, your starting pistol is, like, a Magnum. Well, you can get exploding rounds on it. Right? So, like when the bullet hits, it explodes. You can upgrade your pump shotgun to where it fires 2 shells before you have to pump it. So you can shoot twice before you have to pump it again. Anyways,
awesome.
That game, it's Sulaco, Selaco. Remind me after, I'll show you. That game is fucking awesome looking. I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Anyways,
definitely have to check that out.
Matt, your week?
Roll into the final man.
My week. Yeah, I also have video games this week. I didn't do much other than video games.
Yeah, yeah. We have a video game.
A game we've all played, but probably a long time ago, World of Tanks.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that game.
So I'm kind of like an on and off. Like I'll literally like take a break for like a year, 2 years, and then play it like religiously for like 6 months and then stop. But they do one now, a game mode, a specific game mode that they do. They've done it for the past probably like 4 years. It's called Frontline. And instead of like the 15 on 15 deathmatch or like cap, it's 30 on 30 on a much bigger map. And one side is pushing to like destroy guns, and one side is defending. And it's a way bigger map. There's like, it seems like it would be more of a realistic thing to be doing with tanks versus just going into like
Just
a
having a
land
battle,
and killing
you know?
each other. Yeah, there's like
Right.
there's like an objective to it, like a much more objective to it, like secure these objectives kind of a thing. And each game probably lasts like 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
But it's all tier 8.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Oh,
so you're
boy.
not getting like mismatched kind of.
Nope. There's none of that.
You're not the tier 5 Sherman in a tier 8 match.
Yeah.
It seems like all the problems that are from the
KB
normal
30.
game, all the RNG and stuff, it's all taken out of it. It's a lot more level,
Nice.
and like you've got a much bigger map, which is much better. And like, especially now with all the like stat creeping
Right.
that's gone up, all that's gone up. The speed of the tanks have gone up. The maps are the same.
Right.
So like now you can see the whole map. You can drive across the map in 30 seconds. Like.
Oh yeah, and then you got a gun that can like flatten a guy in like 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Like, oh boy.
Yeah, but you can't see them or they can't see you or whatever the hell.
Oh yeah, I mean you still
RNG
have to work around this weird that game's really kind of bizarre line of sight system.
That RNG system in that game is
it's
it's cruel.
I haven't played like the regular game in a while, probably over like a year, probably.
Yeah.
But I come back for the weird game modes they do, like the Halloween game modes they've done a couple times, which were really, really fun.
That like, what was that, a year or 2 ago?
I think it was
got
2
me
years
back
ago.
into it. Yeah, like, it was this really cool, like, kind of a co-op mode where it was sort of like a race to get points. Yeah. And it got harder and harder, and the whole time you were being chased down by like this mega tank that you couldn't kill.
Yep.
And it was a really unique game mode. I actually think they got the artist from Silent Hill to do like a lot of like the tank designs and stuff. So
That's
like you see these tanks and they got like weird spikes and like weird.
They're like had a Warhammer. They're like chaos tanks.
Yeah, very cool stuff. And it's kind of a bummer because it's like it's a live service game, so they have to run these events to try and lure people in. But it's just like a bummer that some of these events, it's like, why don't you just make it permanent?
Yeah,
seriously. Well, that's just like Killing Floor too.
Yeah,
like the Halloween, the Christmas events, all that stuff.
Oh, Christmas is always the best.
Yeah, the Christmas one.
Well, I mean, now you can buy Badass Santa as a character.
Yes,
Badass
it's voiced by
it's
the crazy guy
with the teeth. It's,
yes.
No, I know who it is. We talk about him all the time.
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey.
Yes.
So the thing the little gripe I have is that when you play his like Santa's Workshop map, the voice lines for that, just him being the announcer, are amazing.
Yeah.
But when you play his character, it's like, eh.
Yeah.
I was hoping his voice lines carried to the character.
I mean, I still appreciate the fact that they got Gary Busey to voice that.
Gary Busey. He did so good.
No, it's awesome. But his lines definitely aren't as good. Like just playing as it.
Not
it's
as
just like,
the
we all still live.
Yeah,
and that's like, that's kind of it. But he does have that a very characteristic
voice. You don't want to get Christmas cancer. It just keeps on giving. He's like wheezy laughing over the loudspeaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Apex's Halloween mode is the shit. Because that's the only time you can like do the wall running and the double jumps and shit like that you used to in Titanfall. Oh. So when you die, you turn into a ghost, and it's a matter of having like your teammates alive the longest, like whoever is like the last teammate standing, and can, or at the end of the timer, can evacuate on like the one ship on the map as it plays down like a typical battle royale ring. That's a good one because you can tell who played Titanfall. Who hasn't? Because the zombies, like if you're a zombie ghost thing, whatever the hell, you kill other ghosts in one melee hit because it's all you have is melee, but you move like standard pilot speed. So like you're much you run faster, everything as you move faster. But you can like do like infinite wall runs if you know how to do it. Like you can like stand in the corner. Like there's a couple spots in like some places like in the Air Force Base and stuff like that in the original map where like you can be up on the wall like 20 feet in the air and just do like the infinite wall run where you just like run up and then back up and then run up and then back up on each side real quick. And just do shit like that and like just infinitely.
Whoa!
Hey, Bowser.
Holy
of course,
moly.
Jeremy's here. Hey, chill.
There's the butt wiggle.
Yeah, but that's one of those ones where it's like you can tell immediately who played Titanfall and who played a lot of Titanfall.
Titanfall.
Yeah. Anyways, Matt, continuing your week.
Yeah. So playing a bunch of Frontline, I spam the crap out of it when they have it for the week. They do it like 1 week a month, and they do it I think for like 4 months.
I know. I feel like an idiot because he told me really early in the week, and I should have installed it then, but I got kind of sidelined with Wreckfest.
Usually, like last year, I didn't get started into it. I think till like the 3rd week.
Yeah.
So it like I literally found out about it the day before it started. So I was like, yes, sweet, perfect. But
awesome.
Yeah. So that's been fun.
Bowser.
The other thing I did this week was set up my new phone.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's right.
Galaxy S22 Plus, and it is like mind-bogglingly awesome. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, I got to hold it a little bit earlier. Like we were hanging out before we came over here, and yeah, it's like you see how big it is, and you think like, oh, that's gonna feel stupid in your hand. But no, it's like really at that upper limit of like any bigger than this, and it'd be too much.
The Ultra, yeah, it was a debate between this one or the Ultra.
Yeah.
To me at this point, it's like, is that gonna fit in my jeans pocket?
Yeah.
Does that fit in my console in my car? Because those are the two spots that matter.
Yeah, my whole thing is like, if you can't dial a phone number with one hand, it ain't good enough. I know, I'm like archaic.
That's actually
I
not
actually
bad.
use my cell phone to dial numbers.
I dial numbers.
Hey, you know what? I got big hands. I buy the Pro Max iPhone.
No, that's fair.
Like,
That's fair. I mean, I used to have a giant phone too, but I don't know. At some point, I was just like, man, I'd love to like be able to like put this in a pocket without thinking like I'm gonna break this thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
That's what the OtterBox and the really expensive screen protector are for. Just like
very true.
$80 worth of protection on the thing.
You know what?
just to
Those nice
it not
like
break.
tempered glass ones.
Yep,
those
that's
are
what
the
I have.
best.
I have the Zag one, the really
Yeah, those are
best
good.
one you can get. And I can like throw this thing on my concrete garage floor and it's fine. Nothing happens to it.
Yeah, the OtterBoxes are great. I mean,
They do crack the like the screen
protector
protector's
can crack.
cracks, but the screen is always completely
Right.
fine. Like it's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
And those things have come a long way in terms of like standardization as well. Because like, you know, again, when I used to have a big phone, I had a Xperia Z Ultra, which it was a cool phone, but it wasn't very standard. So you know, it was tough to get stuff that fit it. Like the iPhone was always kind of a standard, and like even early on, the Galaxies weren't very standard. That really started picking up, I think, with like the S3 and 4.
yeah.
Like when they really started to kind
like
of
one of the big phones is what you.
yeah, like they weren't
What was the
quite a
Note?
flagship. Yeah.
It was the Note, which was around the 3 or 4.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when they really kind of started to like standardize the shape. So then OtterBox started making more cases for that kind of stuff.
Definitely the first time I saw a Note, the first Note.
Oh, they were
I
awesome.
looked at that and I was like, "Is that an iPad?" Like,
Yeah.
is it-
Yeah,
That's what
tablet?
the S22 Ultra is. It's the continuation of the Note. That's
Yeah.
why it's huge. It's massive.
yeah. They just don't.
And the camera on that thing is like
yeah,
insane.
the new cameras are getting silly.
But one thing
No, your
it
camera
has,
sucks.
one thing it has on it now that was
sit
blowing
down.
my mind was this thing called Remaster
You
Photos.
just move that.
And it's like looking at all your pictures like for the first time again. It's like, whoa, holy
Yeah, yeah.
crap!
Whenever
Like,
you transfer photos, you're like, holy crap, that's a lot.
yeah, it's awesome.
Nice. Right on.
That's been my week for the most part. Now I'll finally be able to post more stuff on Instagram and
Good.
stuff for you.
You know, I
guys.
think you can get World of Tanks on your phone too. So you might as
They
well.
do, yeah,
might
they
as well
do.
just burn that thing
It's a
out
separate
playing
thing, though. I
games.
think. I don't think it's
is.
like
It's a separate
tied to.
mode.
Yeah,
That's
It is
not
kind of fun though. If you if you really want to like, just like thrash people, I recommend playing it on like PC or something because it's all shared. So you will just like bulldoze people
that are playing on their phone.
Yeah,
'cause you
well,
have more
eventually you
finite
get up to like
control.
the higher tiers, and that's when everybody's like only playing it on like their PC or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, this isn't as fun. But
So
yeah, like
that's
the
how you
tier
get to
1,
that
you're
mode,
watching
though.
people just like they have to move and then turn the
Wait,
turret.
really? Hold
Oh
on.
yeah,
So
it's stupid.
so like the mobile is connected to the
Yeah, I think it's all
computer
like one
lower
conjoined
tiers?
server. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's stupid.
Matt's like, I'm gonna go roll so many people now.
I mean, admittedly, it looks
in my LOL
infinitely
tractor.
worse.
The LOL tractor.
Yeah, the LOL tractor.
You gonna go get in your grill? You grilling them up tonight?
Yeah.
No, you got to play the little Soviet tank with the hat on top. That
A
was
LOL
my always
tractor with
favorite.
5
The
per
little
crew.
MS
and-
one.
They have a hat on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's got like a little.
Yeah.
Looks like it's wearing a little yarmulke.
Yeah. They was it the artillery tank, the grill?
Yep.
The
yeah,
grill.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking, I used to play with one of my friends, and he'd always be saying, like, we'd go find him, and he'd just pop them all on the artillery tank, and like people would be talking shit or whatever. He'd be like, "Yeah, we grilling them up tonight, boys."
I used to play
Nice.
artillery a lot. I don't remember which one, but I got
Yeah.
one, and I was like, man, that does a lot of damage. And I got pretty good at direct firing people.
Oh, that's
Lay that
awesome.
thing down.
Yeah, that
People
is
would
a
run up to
beautiful
me,
thing.
and they'd be like, "Oh, he's playing artillery," and then they just blow up and be like, "But why?" And I'd be like, "I don't know. I've been practicing."
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
insanity when you see
Yeah.
people that are actually good at that.
Yeah, well, that's all I played. I just played artillery. I'm like, I'm just gonna go over there and shoot way over there.
Yep.
And just pepper them. But
It makes you a better doing that makes you a better player in all the other tank types. Like I stayed
so
away
hard
from
to
artillery for so long, and then I started it, and I was like, why didn't I just do it? Like,
Yeah, it's like rocking the rocket truck.
Yeah, right. Yeah, honestly, I still haven't done it. I still just drive like the Russian heavy tanks, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I just want to be able to like one shot people.
Dude,
like
you
a
just get a
KV2.
KV3.
Yeah, KV2, man. Oh,
KV3,
it's so
dude.
much fun. Oh yeah, KV3 too. Yep.
yeah, like the bore is the size of this pillow.
Oh yeah, it's stupid.
that's the KV2, the one with the
Yeah.
massive gun on it.
Yeah.
Yep. The one with the box turret. And
Yeah, I mean, if
the
they had like the
short gun.
Sturm
What
Tiger
is
or
it?
whatever,
Like,
I'd use that.
like a 240 millimeter or something?
Oh,
stupid?
yeah, like
I don't know what.
152 or 182 or something. It's like a coastal.
152.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
152.
It's like a coastal gun, basically.
yeah,
Like, it's awesome.
It's wicked short. It's like
Yeah.
really short. Like it's ridiculous.
It's very derpy.
Yeah, whenever you see a tank
a
and
derp,
it says
yeah.
like armament and it says whatever and it says like bombard on the end of it, you're like, yeah, that's the one I need.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this. There's a tank. I don't know if it's actually in that game. It's called the Sturm Tiger, where it's like this big.
That was in that game. It was like for an event thing.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that tank was like so like. I mean, this stupidly huge. I think it was like a little rocket propelled, like 200 millimeter something, like designed to bring buildings down. But like the reload time on it is like a minute, and the guy has to get out of the tank to reload it.
It's like an artillery piece, basically.
Yeah. It's basically like a mobile like. Destroy this building button.
I mean, hey, you could sit there and you could get the freaking was it the Tiger 2?
Yeah.
Yep.
Was that like
the
T8
Tiger
or whatever under Germany? That thing was nasty.
Yep.
Well, yeah, it's following real life. I mean, you get a German tank back in World War II, like who cares about the rest?
they were probably like the best engineer, and I don't know if they were the best. I mean, because they lost, but just
at the time they were the best engineers.
Yes, they were. They were certainly. They had the most.
We
care
can tip
put
our
into
hat
design.
to their tanks.
Oh yeah,
they were good.
Yeah.
You know. Ours were okay. They were
Yeah.
just made out of tinfoil.
Yeah, compared to the Tigers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The fucking getting the fucking Abrams on the American line was the best. Or whatever the fuck it was.
You mean
one
the
that was all the way down. Whatever. I think it was whatever. The Patton. It was like that high end one, like at the bottom of the American tier.
Yeah.
That thing just rolled.
Yeah.
It was like,
probably
I'm
the
fucking face roll everything,
Not
but
the
like
Abrams.
the object.
The Patton. Right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Is
the
that
Patton.
what it was?
I think
Whatever.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. They only go up to what, like not the Gulf.
They go up to like the 50s.
Yeah.
The 50s and 60s.
I think it's the M60.
It's either M60 or M48.
Yeah, one of those two.
Yeah.
Whatever. I always think it's
pre-Abrams design.
Yeah. Like basically the tank that came right before the
I
Abrams.
think it goes right up to the modern tanks, but doesn't have the modern tanks.
Yeah.
Nah, look, all I know is like that thing, if you had one of those, you would just face roll everything but like the object in one hit.
The object.
There are many objects,
and they're all infamous.
Yeah.
Every time I see one, I'm like, the object.
You see,
Well, there only used to be like two.
Yeah. Back in the day, there used to be two, but now it's like they've just added so many like weird prototype tanks. It's
Oh
like,
my God.
there's so
and
many
it's
objects.
like across every type. It's not just like a heavy tank.
Oh yeah, no. There's like
It's
a light tank object.
Yep.
There's a TD object.
There's like 10. There's like 10 objects now.
Yeah, there might be two heavy tank objects actually, depending on whatever line you go.
Object.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I didn't get super far with like the British line, like we were talking earlier, and I was trying to get the Centurion.
Yeah.
I was almost at the Tortoise, I think.
Oh,
and I was just looking. I'm like, what's the heaviest piece of crap in like the British line that I can get? I'm like, oh, the Tortoise, I need that. And I might have gotten it. I don't remember. I played so many years ago, but it was so satisfying when you went up to something where you knew they had a good gun, and it just went ping and bounced, and you're like,
Well, so that when they first put the KVs in,
oh yeah,
when the fucking KV1 would always be put in the lower rank matches.
Oh,
and
dude,
that thing
was my favorite. I love bullying people as the
dude,
KV1.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Nothing was gonna kill you.
Yep.
Unless you could get taken out by enough artillery shots. Yeah. But it was one of those things where it's like, I'm coming.
Oh yeah,
I'm coming. And like if you don't get to
but
me,
it's
like,
happening.
I am going to kill every single player on your team.
Yep.
That's what that KV did.
They introduced a heavy tank that was a really low tier, and it was like that. It was just like they would take like 10 enemy tanks to come over and surround you to finally kill you.
those were like
but in the
tanks.
process, you would reload and kill 4 of them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You would take down a ton. It was awesome.
Yeah. Those were like the two tanks I played. KV1 and that line, and then the British had the Churchill, I think, which it didn't have quite as good of a gun, but similar armor. And it was like really the only thing they could hit on you was tread. So you'd be immobilized like half the match, but you were pretty tanky. You were pretty. You were pretty tanky.
Speaking of the British TDs, the shit barn. Remember the shit barn?
Yeah, the shit barn.
I wanted one of those so bad, but apparently it's like been nerfed.
Yeah, it got
I'm like, no.
That's the thing too. Like these live service games, like stuff changes so frequently.
You only have so much time. Like, oh, this much
Yeah.
tank
Well,
is.
you've only got like a few months to like abuse the crap
This
out of
tank is
something.
OP. Get it now.
Yeah.
It's like was the Stuke 3?
Yep.
The one
That
that's
was
like
a good one. That was strong for a
Yeah.
while.
It was such a low angle, it would just bounce.
Yep.
Everything would bounce like
And the Hetzer too. Yeah, the Hetzer with,
Hetzer
with the big derp
That's just
gun.
gonna hats.
Like those two tanks, it was just all of those.
God,
Yeah.
I remember when the Hetzer got launched, and it was just like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me! Get that fucking thing out of my
With
game.
the derp gun, you could just one-shot people with it. It was like, whoa.
That was the one thing I feared playing the KV because I couldn't get my gun low enough. He got in on me. I was like,
Dude.
all right, I'm just gonna eat it.
Yeah, like I just remember, I remember bouncing rounds with a KV.
Oh, yeah.
Like I remember bouncing a KV-3 round off of a Stug because it's just the angle is just like just right for bouncing rounds. You're like, dude, this is like a tier 3 tank. I'm sitting in a tier 6. Why am I bouncing rounds?
Yep.
Like you got to be kidding me right now.
You know what's an even more? They basically have like another tank that looks very similar to the Hetzer, but it's like it's a tier 7,
Oh no.
Oh, geez.
and it's really, really fast, and it fires really, really fast, and you can't see it. It is the most annoying, pestering thing.
It's like a frisbee with a gun.
Dude, you can literally just absolutely troll the shit out of people with this thing.
That just sounds painful.
It's a premium, so you have to pay for it.
Yeah, of course. That's why.
But it is like one of the most fun things in the world when you like get like a bunch of enemies and they can't see you at all, and you're just like bang, 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 bang. And you're like, fuck!
The invisible enemy.
What is hitting me?
Yeah, that's actually a weird game to think about because, like, I used to play that a lot. And as far as free-to-play games go, like, I mean, yeah, some of the monetization kind of sucks. Like, you see people firing premium rounds. It's like, but
I hate it.
It's not as bad now because it's like they made it so you could buy it with like normal money.
Yeah.
But they also like as you get higher up in a tier line, it's like no, you need that more normal money more now.
Yeah.
Because like you'll play matches
why I
and
stopped
play well
playing.
and still wind up like negative money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
like why I stopped playing because it got to the point where it's like I can't get these tanks unless I play for another 3 years, like
Yes.
4
Yeah.
hours a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I did some math one day and I was just like playing casually. I can't get past like tier, whatever 6, 5, whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say like usually the hard cap for me is like 7. Like I get up to tier 7 and then I just see how far I gotta go and I'm like, ugh.
I did so much grinding, like so much grinding in that game.
Yeah,
But
you
I have
played-
had premium for like I didn't pay for it usually. I'd get gold for whatever reason, like the game.
yeah,
would
the
run
game used to
offers.
hand it out quite a bit.
Yeah, or you get like a
Save
one
it up.
premium day for beating like challenges and stuff. So
Yeah.
those are always awesome.
Like you would have to do that and then buy premium rounds in order to grind effectively.
Yeah.
Like that's how I got that fucking patent. It was like, all right, I just have to suck it up, and if I want to get this thing, I have to like pay for it.
Yeah.
And like, I mean,
And some of those lower tanks though can also be like, fortunately they're usually like you don't have to play them very long, but sometimes it's a slog.
Oh yeah. The
yeah.
higher ones.
Like,
you
oh
play
yeah,
for a
cool,
long time.
37mm gun. Watch me just bounce off of like literally every tank made after
Fighting
like 1935. Like,
Yeah.
jeez.
yeah. And then you were fighting Stoogs at one point. It was like, yep, don't want to do this because
Yeah,
nothing,
no.
Just
nothing
run in
below-
and die so I can just like
Yeah.
get a new
Get
match
this over
start
with.
over, yeah. It can be pretty rough, but it's one of those games where it's like it's pretty easy to recommend to anybody who like kind of likes World War
tanks.
II or tanks or stuff because it's like
fun.
it's free. I mean, what the
Yeah.
heck? You might as well give it a shot.
I'm starting to think I need to download it again. And then
I know
go,
I
"Oh,
am too.
hate this
I'm kind of
game."
like
One
talking
thing
myself into
About
it.
Frontline is when you die, you respawn. You can respawn with another
That's
tank.
cool.
You only have
Yeah.
so many like it times out, but it like
Mhm.
you can it's all tier 8, so you want to basically have like a roster of tier 8 tanks like I have. But
Yep.
Matt's like I have.
Oh yeah, he's got Matt's stacked.
There's
He's
only
got- he's
there's
got
only
some
one other
serious
person
tanks.
I know who's probably got like I'm gonna say solidly triple the amount of higher tier tanks than you, and it's Sean.
Really?
he probably does.
Oh yeah, but I think he's like I don't care if I have to spend money. It was
Oh,
one
I
of, it was
see.
one of
Yeah,
those
yeah.
games for
Yeah.
him where he's just like he's not a whale. Like
Yeah.
he's like I'll spend money for
Well-
this weekly.
Well,
you know?
did he play World of Warplanes or fucking
Dude,
all
Warships?
All of it.
I
Oh, wow.
tried
I don't think.
Warplanes.
Tanks was his
Warplanes
thing. He
is
still plays.
painful.
Dude, you spawn dead
Yeah.
every single time. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Planes
the
is-
people that good at like air games are like too good though. Those are
Yeah,
the ones
they are.
There's no pleasant entry to it.
No,
like World of
there-
Tanks, you can start low.
No, there
and-
is.
and
There
be
is.
Okay.
It's called Just Go Play Ace Combat. And Ace
Dude.
Combat 7 is fucking
Yes.
amazing.
That game was so much.
We don't need to start that one right now.
Grace Maria. Sorry. Yeah.
Have you played 7 with JPEG Dog?
No, I haven't.
7's got
No.
JPEG Dog.
Okay.
Anyways,
I think the last one I played was 6. Yeah.
7 is the shit.
Bowser committed a murder here.
Another
It's
one.
poor
Oh,
toy.
he's
Dude.
been eating that in a plastic thing the whole
Yeah.
time.
There is.
There's
You
a lot
guys
of
can't
flute.
see this, but there is cotton all
Everywhere. Hey.
over the floor.
Yeah. Oh, well. he
I
does
was
it
getting
all the
bored.
time.
Yeah, he wants it.
All right.
Yeah,
we
we're
may
at
as well
about
wrap
our
this up.
time though. So
So, yeah. Anything? Any last words? Any last comments?
last words.
Yeah, what do I want on my
find you.
tombstone?
I have a couple.
Pepperoni and cheese. No, I don't know.
Did I
don't know.
fire 6 shots or did I fire 5? Like I had to say.
Any last words? Yes. Just 3.
You boys have any last words before I kill you? Yeah, I have a couple. Butt cheeks.
Butt joke.
You know exactly what that's from.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
I don't actually. I'm
Speaking of last words, watching the Love, Death, Robots Volume 3, there's a scene where a dude, like, he gets his leg gnawed off or something. They're all, like, Special Forces military guys going in to do something weird. And the guy's dying. He's like, really struggling. He's like, tell my wife I fucked her sister. And then he just dies. He has that dramatic breath with, like, the tongue hanging out.
Oh, God. That's awesome.
Oh, my God.
That's great.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me on Instagram at CattyKilljoy666.
All right.
And I'm going to start
Catchy
posting
name.
more with that new phone I got. I can finally...
Spiffy new phone.
Spiffy new phone.
Yep.
Yeah. Alex, you got anywhere to find me?
Yeah, but no.
Y'all gotta get onto that.
Yeah, I know. We both do.
If you find me, you find me.
But you should. I will be appearing in the upcoming Metal Wolf
playthrough.
Chaos
Yeah.
XD.
I hope you guys are ready. Richard!
Yeah.
Let's get ready to party!
Yeah, if you like my horrible brand of tasteless humor, you can definitely find it there when it eventually drops.
Yeah, and you know what? That's just that game is amazing.
It's a lot of fun. I'm horrible at it, but it's very fun.
You know what? You're just getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can find me at Grizzly GRIZZLEA on YouTube, and I believe it's TikTok. I got changed over, and then the other ones is Grizzly TV, GRIZZLEA TV. So I hope you all have a good week. I hope you like the video, you like the audio. If you're listening to it on Spotify, so if you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, comment. Stick around.
Do all that YouTube stuff.
Do the,
You know.
do the thing.
We hope you come back, and for this one, I hope you next time. Fuck, I can't even talk. Fuck.
How about you can do it.
I'm losing my words here.
I think it's time to hit the button.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit the button.